Hi there, welcome to Transcona Trailer Sales. Today we walk you through your 2024 Intech Soul. We are just going to start off the back of the unit. If you notice, you do have license plate bracket right here. You are pre-wired for an observation camera. If you'd like to get set up with that, you can just contact the parts department and they can put together a quote for you. At this back corner here, you got your Suburban tankless water heater. Very important note, whenever you are winterizing this one, unlike your traditional water heaters, you are going to want to run antifreeze through it, just making sure that it is off. And then whenever you're done your winterization, just crack this open and leave it open for the wintertime. That way, whenever that antifreeze does expand a little bit, it has a chance to escape and not burst any coils. And then to get power to your thermostat inside, you're just hitting that switch. And that'll turn to power your thermostat inside, and I can run you through that after. In this corner, as well as all four corners of the unit, you got stabilizer jack. And the way that works is you're just going to hook up your 3/4 inch drive tool, which is located in the side rear compartment. Run this foot down to the ground. Once that foot contacts the ground, just giving it another 1/8 turn, just to snug it up to take any bounce or sway you see we have in the unit right now away. Up here, you do have your main power cord inlet. You do get your standard twist lock connection. You're just going to take note of that notch there. It's going to line up with this notch on this side. I'm going to line those two up. Push and twist into place, 1/8 turn to lock it in. Then you got that threaded collar to really lock it down. And then typically, if you follow your cord back, which is located inside today, you do get your standard 30 amp plug end. Most campsites should have this, and you can plug right on in. But let's say you have the unit at home and you want to run your fridge. We do include a 15 amp park adapter. Just keep it in mind, once again, you're going down to 15 amps of power. You're not going to be running anything like an air conditioner. It's just to run your fridge and your lights realistically. Right here, you just got your little water inlet section here. Pull that cap off there, put a garden hose in there, turn it on, and that's gonna fill your fresh tank, and that's what your water pump draws off of. And then right here, you got your city water connection. So if you're out of site with service, you can throw a garden hose in there, turn it on. It's gonna pressurize all those lines. A little further ahead, you do have a solar panel plug-in. So if you plugged in your portable solar panel, you can charge your batteries. You got your furnace exhaust. Whenever your furnace is running, this will be blowing out hot air. And then you do have your little sewer dump here, just taking and twisting that knob. Take a note of those ears there. Your sewer hose will have those same ears, and you can store that sewer hose right inside here. And then just a little valve to dump it. Cap on there, snug that up. And then you got, of course, your front stabilizer jack. And then this is just going to be a battery vent. Located up front here, you got this nice little cargo rack. Front tongue jack, one way's up, the other way's down. You got an on switch, which turns on that light. Located behind these two pins, you're just going to take these pins and unlock them and allow you to pull that out. And then you got this Intech cover. This is a painted piece of plastic, so just be careful with it whenever you're placing it down. That way you don't get it all scratched up. You can pull it up. I typically just set it down on the cargo rack. That way it's not going to go anywhere and get scratched. You got your two 20-pound propane tanks. You got the selector valve here. Obviously, with it pointing this way, you're going to draw off this tank, or you can turn it to that way. Once that way one goes empty, and draw off this tank. Counterclockwise, like your standard barbecue, to turn it on. Then we can take a step on the other side of the unit. You got your main door. Right here, you got two 110 plugins. Inside this compartment here is just storage space. Comes with a sewer hose, water hose, sorry. And then you got some more goodies, including your 15 amp park adapter, another water hose. You do have a front window cover here that you should use whenever you're traveling. It'll be installed before you pick up your unit. Right here, you're gonna notice you can thread that one garden hose, the flexi garden hose on there. And if you crack this open, it does allow for water flow, so you can have a little portable sprayer. You got that pink coming out of there just because it is winterized. If you open up this here, you got a little exterior kitchen, nice little griddle. You're just having to push that little red tab and pull out. This will slide right on out, and you do have a little 12-volt Dometic cooler. Undo that travel strap. You can open it from either side or take the lid right off. It's just a little 12-volt refrigerated cooler. Then right here you do have a griddle. It runs off propane. So you do have to have your propane on and connected. You follow that back. This is just tucked behind. You run this down to your quick connect. Pull back like an air hose. Insert it in there. Clicks into place, and then you can open up your valve. Just an added note, whenever the valve is open, as a safety feature, it won't allow you to activate that quick connect. So you do have to close the flow of propane first, and then it'll allow you to disconnect it. And it just lights like your standard barbecue. Prime it for a second, and then hit the igniter, and it fires right on up. Get it back inside, it's just as simple as that, making sure it's latched, that way it doesn't go anywhere while traveling. To get inside, you just taking this door, opening it up. You do have to open it up all the way for you to be able to pull that latch for the stairs and start going down. To clear that, you do have these adjustable pins. If you pull these out, it'll allow you to adjust those feet to your campsite needs so you can have nice and level stairs. Taking a step on inside, first thing you notice off on the left is going to be that fire extinguisher. It's going to be just like home. Pull the pin and shoot. On the wall, you do have all your lights for the inside right here. You have another kitchen accent light on the wall, and then right above that, it's just your awning button. Pushing and holding that button out, it's going to allow that awning to start making its way out, and once fully extended, it will stop. And you're just going to want to keep it like that. And then you can just take these arms. It'll allow you to open it like that, which will allow you to unclip here, suck that foot in, so it'll allow you to twist this out. And then you just run this down to the ground. Once you twist it, firm it up. You can stake that down into the ground at your desired height level, and you'd be good to go. And then just unlocking it. Again, you're going to have to twist it so that it'll allow you to bring it back into the unit. I leave this unlocked for now until you get it back home. Once you slide that in there, locking it in, you can lock that down, push it in, and you're good to bring that back in. And then to bring it back in, and it's just as simple as pushing and holding that in button. And that awning's going to start making its way in, and once it contacts the side of the trailer, the motors are going to automatically cut out. In your kitchen area, you do have your propane stove. It works pretty much just like home. Turning it over to that high/light option. Just reminder, you know, if you've had the propane off for a while, it allows air into the system, so it can take a few minutes just to purge everything out, but it did fire up pretty quickly here this time. And you'll see, like I said, sometimes it can take a couple tries and a couple minutes just to purge all the air out of the lines. Once all the air is purged out, it'll hold its own. And just turning it off, and always making sure you allow it to cool off before you bring this down. To bring it down, you do just have to pull up on it and pull down, just so it doesn't close whenever it's on. You got your sink with hot and cold water. Not much I'm going to show you there. Storage all down below. Over here, you kind of got your main fridge area. It's got a safe little travel latch. You can open it up like so. You got a temperature control right up on that top right hand corner. You do have a little freezer section in here as well. Stereo, just like home, minus the fact of having zone A and zone B. Zone A will be those front speakers. Zone B will be the back speakers. You got your thermostat, which does work if you would have it on. you just turn it on up and down for temperature control. You can change it between Celsius and Fahrenheit. And when you first turn it on, it's going to be locked to 50 degrees just as an added safety child feature so that your kids don't scald their hands. If you push and hold the up button while at 50 degrees, it will boost it to 55. You got your control center. You got your monitor panel system up top. You got your battery, your fresh, your black, and your gray. It all goes a third, 2/3, and full. And for the battery, it's 11.2 volts, 11.7 volts, and 12.3 is fully charged. Then you got your water pump switch, turning that on draws from your fresh tank. You got a tank heater system inside here, which is just essentially a little pad stuck to the bottoms of the tank that heat up once turned on. Kind of works the same way as an oil pan heater on a car. And the same thing goes for the line heater. It's just for extended camping season. But our Manitoba winters get much too cold, so if you are in Manitoba, this is only good for about maybe -5, and even that's kind of pushing it. You're going to want to make sure you have the heat on inside. Right here, you got your fuse and breaker panel. Whenever a breaker trips, it's going to sit in the middle, so you just have to turn it off and then back on again to reset it. And then whenever you have a fuse blow, there'll be a little red indicator light letting you know which one's blown. Then you got your battery disconnect, so with it in the on position like it is now, the batteries are connected to the unit. If you were to turn it to off position, the batteries become disconnected from the unit, and you would also lose 12-volt power. Microwave up top. Below these cushions here, you're going to get access to your battery. Just move this out of the way quick for you. And this is where the battery is kept inside here. You see you got that little box there. You can keep storage space in there as well. Just keep it in mind you have the battery in there. The batteries do vent sometimes. Inside this door, if you open it up, you have your bathroom. Light switch is just on your right on the wall. You do have a vent in here as well. Just taking and opening it up, you're going to notice you do open up straight into the atmosphere. If you'd like to get set up with a max air cover so you can run that whether it's raining or not, you can contact our parts department and they can get you set up with that. Other than that, it is just a toilet and a shower inside here. AC right up top. You do have a couple different options. You can run it with these louvers open, in which case it's going to dump all its air out of here, or you can close one side and leave this side open and you'll blow more air out this side, whatever you prefer. Then you get to your bedroom space where you do have your TV, storage space all around. Then on the wall here, you do have a max air fan right above you right there. The controls for that are just right on here. You got your vent open, on, off, pretty simple. Thermostat on the wall, you push it once, it's going to illuminate itself. You push it again, you can go between your modes. You got cool, heat, and then cool plus heat, which is an on-demand system. So it's essentially an automatic system. It, based on what you have the thermostat set to, is what it's going to kick onto. And if you push that button twice, you can just run the fan. You can either run it on high or low. And if you have air conditioning on, you can have it on high auto or low auto, in which case it comes in, again, an on-demand system. So the fan will kick in and off as needed, depending on what you have your thermostat set to. But if you have it on high or low, the fan will run full time regardless of temperature. The only other thing I got to show you here is just underneath these cushions. If you pull them and slide them out of the way, you got that back compartment area. You pull this lid off, just slide it over. You got a lot of valves and it can be maybe a little bit confusing, but these right here are low point drains. So if you're leaving the unit for a while and you want to drain all the lines, or you're doing work on a faucet or whatever, you can open these guys up and it's going to drain as much water out of the system as possible. This is going to be your winterization tube. So to bypass that intake tube for the water tank, you turn this and this becomes your intake. You put this in your jug of coolant, turn it on, run everything through the taps, you're good to go. This here is your fresh tank drain, but in line with this, you do also have this valve here, which you do also have to turn. And then whenever you're not doing that, just closing both of them. And that's it for that there. If you have any other questions about this unit, feel free to give us a call.